welcome back to the All Things Good channel and to this week's video. Hope you're all doing very, very well. Happy Sunday morning to you, or happy day, whatever you're watching this video. I'm having my first cup of coffee. Cheers, good morning, bear with. Nothing functions without that first coffee in my household, well for me anyway. How are you? Hope you've all had a very good week. I've had a bit of, well, what can I say? A very productive week, but a very mixed up bag of a week, I have to be honest. And I haven't been very well either. In fact, I've been very unwell actually, and it's been a bit difficult to decipher what has been wrong with me, but I'll explain a bit more about that later on. Rest assured, it's the weekend and I am fully recovered and I'm feeling much, much better, so that's good. But it did put a little bit of a kibosh on the production of the week, albeit I haven't been overly production, but there has still been so much going on here in the new house. I now have my new blinds up in the windows, which I'm really excited about, and they look beautiful. I was hoping to film a little bit more of that process. I've got a few bits to show you, but I became quite unwell on the day that the blinds went up, so everything kind of shut down. Polly shut up shop basically and had a bit of a rest, which was needed. But it's been done and it's been great, and a few little bits and pieces have gone up in the house. I've had workmen here, so I've had some pictures and mirrors put up in places that I can do at the moment. Grace has had her bathroom practically finished, so she now has a shower and a lovely new glass shower curtain, and it's all been waterproofed and watertight so that she can now have a shower, because we only had a bath in there. So lots of little finicky little jobs have been done, which is great. We've also now got our renovations starting very, very soon. In fact, fingers crossed, this week they actually start. So I'm super excited about that, because that would mean that in about a month's time, we'll be able to put everything in the place that it should be in the house, which I'm really looking forward to. And it also means that I can redecorate and hopefully have the house practically complete in time for Christmas, or really in time for Vlogmas. Still might be a bit of a housey Vlogmas, you know what I mean? Because there still might be things going on. And also I shall be decorating what will be the first Christmas in our new home. How exciting is that? So it's been another very exciting week, if you like, in our new home, sort of getting the ideas together, knowing that things are happening, knowing that things are about to happen. But I just got a little bit stopped in my tracks this week, so that was a little bit unfortunate. But on the whole, all things are good. Nancy is very well, which is great. She's not in this week's video, unfortunately. But you do actually get to see the invisible chef not being invisible. Oh yes, amazingly, Paul has allowed me to put him on camera, albeit very briefly, and he doesn't say anything. But last Saturday, we went to a ball, which was fabulous. I spoke about it a few weeks ago. It was the Lillian Goodfellow Group of Friends annual charity pink ball in support of Marie Curie Cancer Care, and in particularly the Marie Curie Centre in Solihull, which is what they raised money for. So we went to the ball and had an absolute ball. It was fabulous. I've got a little bit of that to show you, which was lovely. It was so nice to get dressed up and go out. Not very often we go out, and certainly not very often I get the opportunity to get dressed up, which was fabulous. And I will also show you a few little bits and pieces that I've had this week and where I've had them from. I've had a beautiful light shade from Next, some of the things I've had are off Amazon, and there's quite a lot going on. So it's no wonder I was feeling a little bit under the weather, because it's rather exhausting, quite frankly. You might be exhausted by the time you finish this video, who knows? But anyway, grab yourselves your morning cuppa or whatever it is you're having. Enjoy this week's video. Let's get into it. So last Saturday evening, I had the pleasure of attending my second LGGF Pink charity ball. Now, the ball has been going for many years. The charity itself has been going for about 26 years, but this is only the second time I have been to this lovely ball. It's a fabulous event. It was held at the National Motorcycle Museum in Birmingham, and on the evening itself, we actually raised just under £15,000 for Marie Curie West Midlands. The total so far that this charity has raised for Marie Curie is around £650,000, which is absolutely incredible. And the 4 ladies that run the charity and organise this ball should be giving themselves a huge pat on the back. It was an absolutely wonderful event. We had a gorgeous evening. The food was lovely. The entertainment was superb. And it all got a bit silly in the end as well, as you would expect. We had a great time. This week it was time to put the new blinds in my property, and although this blue blind in my bedroom is actually quite nice, I've decided to go for the same blinds practically throughout the whole house, except for here and my patio. They're going to have perfect fit blinds. Looking forward to that, so I don't have to see that garden for too long, which is obviously a work in progress but not looking great at the moment. And this other window here in the kitchen was red and cream, which doesn't match the kitchen at all. So looking forward to changing those. Welcome to the downstairs loo. Now, it's not somewhere I would normally vlog, but I wanted to show you a little bit in here, because this wall is also part of the rear end of the garage and what will be the garage conversion and my new utility. And it's a nice big downstairs WC actually. Lovely mirror here, obviously, as you can see. But take a look at this. What in the world is this? Now, when we moved in, there was a big box on the wall here that was like a very old-fashioned broadband router, it would appear. There was phone sockets and plug sockets, which I have never heard of in a downstairs WC before. Why on earth would you have electricity right next to water, is my question. So my electrician came yesterday, has removed all this, taken these off and made safe. But it doesn't matter, because this wall will change when the garage conversion's done. So the builders are going to come through here and will redo this wall. So I just wanted to show you, because how bizarre is that? Have any of you, particularly in new build house, ever had plug sockets, broadband routers, phone lines in a downstairs WC? Confused.com. Confused.com. Look at it. What I saw. That has to go. such a busy day today. So much is going on. I have workmen here putting up mirrors, pictures, and a few other bits and pieces, and doing a few little alterations and little nicks in and few little repairs and things that need doing. And I'm also waiting for premier blinds to turn up to transform my house and to have all the new blinds put in. They're coming this afternoon, so I'm just doing a quick run around, making sure that all the drapes that are currently up, or the curtains that are currently up, or the blinds that are currently up have been taken down. And my workmen here are following me around, helping me do that, and sort of filling all the little holes in the walls where they've been as we go round as well. So, a very busy day, but it's going very well. More achievements being made this week and today. I'm super, super happy. So yes, got some pictures up, got some mirrors up, but something needs to go here. Haven't quite decided what that's going to be yet, but definitely need to have something there. The bathroom's coming along. Look at this lovely glass shower frame I found off Amazon. I'll link it down below for you. Really finishing off the bathroom very nicely. The shower head is actually temporary because we're going to have a rain head shower put in. And instead of going to the expense of tiling the bathroom, we have actually used these splashback acrylic panels, which are waterproof and, as I say, much cheaper than tiling, and they do actually match the bathroom very, very well, so very pleased with that. And look, my frames have turned up for me blinds. Brilliant. Let's get cracking. Well, I got a little bit stopped in my tracks this week because I haven't been very well. But it's incredible, isn't it, what I was saying last week about achievement and what you can achieve, even if it's the smallest things in the day. And I've had to have a couple of days off work this week because I haven't been very well. I don't really know what it is. I think there was a bit of a virus going around at work, and I suspect I've had a bit of that. But I think there's a bit of exhaustion in there and possibly a little bit of stress. But I'm aware of it, and I'm pretty good these days at sort of going, do you know what? Mind and body are saying stop, so I am going to have to stop. And it's very rare that I take time off work. So although I hate doing that because I'm one of those people that I always think I'm letting other people down, but actually at work I do an awful amount. And I think sometimes, and I think you find it in any workplace, there are sometimes other members of staff that don't appear to have the same sort of workload or delegate their workload to others, and therefore perhaps don't do quite as much. I'm not pointing this at anybody in my workplace in particular, but I do a lot at work and I carry a lot. And although I work part-time, on my 3 days in my week, I do at least a week's worth of work. So I really do a full-time job. I cram it into 3 days. And sometimes, with everything else that's going on, it hits you after a bit. So I went a little bit downhill this week. So I have had a couple of days off. And it also made me realise that doing that, how little I'm sometimes in my own home, because obviously I look after Nancy, but at the moment she can still go out and about in the wheelchair. So if it is a day off, I'm still dashing here, dashing there, doing that, doing the other. And obviously there's a lot going on here at the house. So I think it all got a bit much this week. And I listened to myself and said, no, you need a little break. So I have had a little break. There's still been workmen here and things going on here. But I have slowed down and stayed housebound. And we're coming to the end of the week now, and I'm definitely a bit better. And today, I think, is the first day that there is no workmen in the house this week. And so I'm hoping to take it a little bit easier and have a little bit of a rest. But the blinds are up in the house and it looks lovely. It has made the house feel very warm and cozy and very homely, and it's amazing actually how curtains, blinds, all those kind of changes you can make alter your surroundings and alter a room. And I am very, very pleased with how that's all come about. And we've had a telephone call yesterday to say that the garage conversion should be started next week. How exciting is that? But it's just all go, go, go. It's all go, go, go. And we can cope with it. It's fine. I can cope with it. It's fine. It is challenging, but it's also very exciting. And it also means that everything will be done that we wanted to be done in the house, not the garden, but everything will be done in the house. And we will have time to decorate, which we will have to do after the renovations are done, before Christmas. So it just means that I know that by December, we will be absolutely sorted here at the house and everything will be done. It's just been a bit of a whirlwind, and I'm really looking forward to the day that we sort of step back and go, that's it, we don't need any more workmen for a bit. And at that point, everybody will be sort of sitting and living and sleeping in the right places, and it'll all be done. So it's lovely. But again, already, we've only been here a month and we have done so much. I say we. It's been a collaborative thing. But yeah, we've done so much. But I am going to take it a bit easy today. I do feel a bit migraine-y. So I've had some tablets, some medication for that. And we'll just take it a little bit easy today and just potter and do a few jobs and just enjoy the time in my new home. The garden, I'm very, very pleased I've now got blinds on the patio doors actually, because looking out at the garden, which is where I am now, sitting in the diner looking out at the garden, oh my God, it just looks like it's such a mammoth job that's got to be done. And it does look like a building site at the moment. And it is a mammoth job. But again, even though it looks like a building site, it looks like a building site because Paul has already started and done so much and dug so much up and started to, you know, plan, design where everything's going to go, how everything will be. So it's just this huge work in progress. But at least it's all captured as well on film here and on photographs. And then one day we'll be able to look back and go, look, do you remember when we moved into this house and the garden looked like this? And the garden looked like this building site. And in the diner we had to sit on the sofa because we didn't have a utility then and we didn't have this then, and oh, it was lovely. But this is a beautiful house. I'm so pleased I bought it. And everybody's so happy. And that makes me so happy. So here we are, having our moment on the bed. And it has been a whirlwind this week, one way or the other. But still so much has been done, which has been incredible. But it's been done by others, really, not just by me. I mean, I've done the sort of arranging and paying for and sorting out, but we've had people in to do the jobs, you know, put the blinds up, all those kind of things, because I'm just not capable of doing those kind of things, or not to the standard that I would want. I would feel a bit nervous about putting blinds up and things like that. And I've used a company that I've used before. In fact, my 2 previous houses, I used the same company, it's a local company, to do the blinds in this house. So I had complete faith and trust in them, and super happy with the results. But it's, as I say, it's not something that I would have felt capable of doing. You know, when we moved in, for example, the 4th bedroom that is now actually an office, we took the carpet out and had it laminated the very first week we were in. And Paul said, you know, I could have done it and I'd happily do it, but I just don't feel I would have got it perfect. You know, it's the edging and things like that that need to be done professionally in order for it to look 100%. And I think if you're going to spend that kind of money doing something, you then want it done properly, don't you? Or I do anyway. So it's been a lot of organising for me, but I like that. I like organising things, but the actual doing of things has meant a team of people have come in, which is great, which has been wonderful, but it's made for a very busy week and a very full household. And I'm very cautious when we do things like that, that of course Nancy is living in this as we are, although very protected in her lovely room, so she can be away from noise and things if she wants to be, or she can come and join us in another room if she wants to. So we've been very fortunate that it hasn't really interfered with what she's doing or what she needs throughout the day. It's just that I've sort of been unable to sort of sit or do anything else whilst there's workmen in the house. You know what it's like. And then you think, crikey, I'm shattered, because I haven't actually really done much physically, but I've been following people around and saying, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you move this? Can you change this? And then I get to the end of the day and think, gosh, I haven't sat down yet today. And it hit me, and I became a bit poorly. And I was saying this just last week, wasn't I? In fact, so many of you commented, which was lovely. I told you about my story about my breakdown from 2016, which some of you didn't know about. And many of you actually commented how pleased you were that I told that story. But within that, I was talking about achievement as well. And yes, a lot has been achieved this week, but it's surprising how things can affect you and you don't always notice that they are until your mind or your body reminds you that you're going through a bit of a rough patch or a bit of a stressful patch or what have you. And my body just went a little bit out of kilter. Now, I think there are many reasons for that. I happily will admit there is stress involved. Happily admit there's some exhaustion involved. Almost convinced there's some menopause involved, because I have had the most awful, what I would consider to be like premenstrual symptoms this week. A migraine, stomach cramps, backache, bit of a runny tummy. But I've also felt at times anxious, particularly at night. I'm boiling hot. I'm having some major hot flushes. But those are also the kind of symptoms of a virus. And as I said earlier in the video, there's been a virus at work, and a few people have said they haven't felt great this last couple of weeks. So it's been difficult for me to sort of decide, if you like, for want of a better expression, what has been the matter with me. And I'm feeling much better now, thank goodness. And it's done me a huge favour by taking a couple of days off work and just being able to go, do you know what, I must stop. And it's very important that I listen to myself, and I do that. And I am good at doing that these days, and I don't really care what people think or say. If I know I'm not well, or I'm edging towards something that I don't want, I go, no, it's time to rein that in and bring myself back into the moment and try and relax and try and have a bit of me time and a bit of home time. Of course, living with someone that is not only very elderly but also has Alzheimer's disease is not an easy thing to do in any situation. And when I think about what we actually have going on here, which is a working household, a busy household, a household with someone living with us that has, you know, my dear mum, that has dementia and is 95 years old, and all the things that we do on a day-to-day, it is an awful lot. It is an awful, awful lot. And sometimes I have to remind myself of that and go, there is a lot going on, Paul. There is a lot, and it's okay for those spinning plates to wobble and sometimes smash and fall to the ground from time to time. It's fine. Clear up the mess and you'll get back on track in no time at all. But it's very, very important for me to recognise when everything's slipping, because when everything's slipping, I know it's because I'm not so good. And I'm very good now at seeing that before it gets too late, really, for want of a better expression. And but this week it was very difficult to determine what was wrong for a bit. I was like, oh, do I have a virus? Am I not very well? I've got a temperature. Is that why I'm getting these hot flushes? And I thought, you know what, this all could just be the menopause, making me feel absolutely goddamn awful, actually. It really was. I had 3 or 4 days where I felt absolutely dreadful, but also I felt a bit migrainey, a little bit sick at times, and I don't know, it could be anything, couldn't it? Really, it could be anything. It could be a mixture of all of those things. But I'm feeling much better today. It's the end of the week and it's the weekend now, and I shall be back in work on Monday, all being well, please God. The other thing that's happened this week is a little interesting visit to the vets with the fur babies, which I don't talk about much, do I, my little fur babies? And I know a lot of you are pet lovers and have cats and dogs and all sorts. But I have Albert and Mila, as most of you know. Now, Albert is a bit of an old boy. He is, I was going to say 12 and a half. He's a bit older than 12 and a half. He's not quite 13 though. But he is getting on. And he's gorgeous, and we've had him from the day he was born because we used to have his mom. Beautiful cat, beautiful personality, highly intelligent, very in touch with our emotions as well. Albert will know if I'm stressed or not well, because he will come and sit with me and won't leave my side. And sometimes when I'm in bed at night, he'll come and sleep on top of the pillow here, and he'll put his head on top of my head. And I can just feel him there, and I can feel him breathing, and there's something really lovely about it and comforting. And he's the most incredible animal. He really is. He's so in tune with us. Very, very intelligent cat. He's gorgeous. And then we have Mila Bell, who is a calico British blue, and she's only 3. Anyway, I wasn't very well the other day and we had a vet's appointment. So Grace said, I'll take them to the vets for you, Mum, because I couldn't get out and about. So off she goes, and they were due their annual flu vaccinations and a general MOT, really, general checkup. And before Grace got home, she rang me from the car to say, we've had the appointment, we're back in the car, we're on our way home. A few things to tell you. Mila Bell is in perfect health. She's absolutely fine, her heart rate's good, she's had her jab, everything's good, teeth is good, everything's brilliant. She got 10 out of 10. Poor old Albert is not quite so good, and we've suspected for a while that he might be struggling with his eyesight, because we were noticing that we put food down and he wouldn't always go to it and things like that. And I did mention to the family a few weeks ago, I said, you know what, I don't think Albert can see very well. And they were, really? I said, well, I'm having to sort of literally put his food right under his nose for him to eat. It's just a little thing I noticed. So I did say to Grace, when you get to the vet, ask the vet to have a look in his eyes, ears, you know, all those kind of things, which they do anyway. And she said, you were right, Mum.
she said we've done some tests. The vet did some tests, some very clever tests actually, that I didn't realise you could do. And Albert is totally blind in his right eye. And I was a bit emotional because it just, although I kind of knew it, it was kind of, you know, the vet saying for sure that he is getting an old boy. So yes, he's totally blind in his right eye, but has very good vision in his left eye. So that's pretty okay, really. He can cope with that. He's not, the vet said, is he bumping into walls and doors and things? And we said, no. We just noticed that sometimes you have to literally put things under his nose for him to eat. And say he did some tests. He said, yeah, he said he's not seeing anything out of his right eye at all. So he's blind in one eye. And he's also got gingivitis, which is like a gum disease that is quite common in cats. And he has had that picked up in an appointment previously. I think it was the one last year. And I decided not to do anything about it because the dental work for that is actually very, very expensive. The vet picked up on that again this year, but said, to be honest, he's only got a couple of teeth left anyway because of old age. And if I did do any dental work on him, he'd have to go under an anaesthetic. And actually, he would not survive the anaesthetic now. So it was just that sort of, oh, he's old. And I've just got to face it, he's old. And I was a little bit sad, actually. I was a little bit sad, but he's absolutely fine, really. He's doing his thing and he started going outside now here at the new house. We've kept them both in for 3 weeks and then Albert was itching to go out. So he is going outside into the back garden mainly. Doesn't seem to be going too far and he does come back sort of within an hour or so. So he's obviously got used to his new surroundings and he's quite happy. And the vet said, even though he's lost his sight in his one eye, if he wants to go out, let him do his thing. Let him live his life. And as long as he's comfortable and seems happy and wants to come and go, just let him carry on and let him do his own thing. So that was a little update on my fur baby. They're very, very dear to me. Very, very dear to me. And I suppose any of you that have pets will know that, you know, they are part of the family, aren't they? And then when we do lose them or they become old or they become poorly, we do worry about them. And it's a little bit sad. But that's it, really. So it's been a bit of a funny old week, really. And it's been emotional at times. And as I say, I've had moments of feeling a bit rubbish. Well, quite rubbish, actually. And then I've really perked up this last couple of days, which is good. So we're back on track. Still managed to achieve an awful amount, which I'm very, very pleased about. And it would seem that the garage conversion works will commence next week, which is a bit earlier than I thought it would. But that's even better for us because I think the sooner we get all these jobs underway and done and dusted, the sooner they are finished, obviously, and it will be in time for Christmas. So that I think, you know, that the goal for me now really is to get to December, that all the works are done, and then once that's done, it is just a case of moving some furniture around, redecorating in a few areas. Some rooms don't need decorating at all and some won't need doing till next year, but the downstairs where all the works will be taking place, that will all need to be redecorated. But if it can be all done and dusted by the start of December, then I know that December can be such a lovely time of preparing the house for the festive season and of course doing Vlogmas, and it's just going to be such a lovely, new and exciting time and our first Christmas in our new home, which we all love. We absolutely love it. So that's it really for this week. I hope you have enjoyed this week's video, and everything in this week's video I'm going to link in the description box down below for you. So I'm going to link the charity to the ball that I went to. If anybody does want to donate anything, you are very welcome to, and all the details are down below for you. It's a super, super charity. As any Marie Curie charity fundraising event goes, it's right up there for me, and very personal too, because when my sister was dying, she was looked after by some Marie Curie nurses, and they do an amazing job. And it's nationwide. And I know the ball we went to only supports the palliative care unit of a particular place in Solihull. That's specifically what that ball raises money for. But of course, Marie Curie is nationwide, and their support is incredible to both the people that are sick and their families. And I know that when my sister Sarah was dying and in her last days, they were an incredible support to her and to us as a family. So I'm more than happy to support them as much as I can. So I will link everything down below for you. I'll also pop down below for you the link to the companies that I've been using so far in the house to do certain jobs, like Premier Blinds, that are quite local to me, but do also work nationwide. And anything that I've bought off Amazon or online this week, I will actually just show you this little clip here as well. I've had a new light put in the bedroom here, which is a flush ceiling light. Now this is actually from Next, and I absolutely love it, so much so that I've bought 3 more for 3 other areas of the house that won't go up yet, but when we've had some of the changes done, those lights will be going up. Absolutely love them. And Next have got some beautiful lighting in at the moment. In fact, I'd looked around in other places for lighting first, and it sort of Next sort of just came into my head, and I thought, oh, I'll just have a look, see if Next do any decent lighting, and they've got some beautiful, beautiful things. So I just thought I'd mention that as well. And again, I'll link that down below for you. So that's it for this week. As I say, I hope you have enjoyed this week's video. And until next Sunday, stay safe, stay in the boat, and keep doing all things good. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.